Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The one and only Sydney Sweeney joins us. Sydney, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Tom Hanks and Robin Wright in my favorite movie of the year. Guys, thanks so much for joining the show.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
One of my all-time favorites, Vince Vaughn, joins us right now. Vince, thanks, man.
Oh, great to be with you, Brad, and great to be talking to Houston. Good morning to you.
We got Owen Wilson. We got Judy Greer. Thanks for joining the show, guys.
Thank you.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
We got Anna Sawai joining the show. Anna, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Brad.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me funny, lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Paris Hilton, the infinite icon herself, is on the show. Paris, love the film.
Thank you. I'm so proud of it.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Well, joining me right now is a legend of the screen, and he is coming back to television with a documentary series premiering this Monday on the History Channel. It's called History's Greatest Machines. It is with Dolph Lundgren, and that's who joins me today. Sir, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Well, look, congratulations on the series. You have a lot going on right now. You have the series coming out. A memoir's just been announced. You have a vodka that you're doing. You're staying busy. Has this always just been the Dolph Lundgren way of I'm always going to stay doing something?
I think so, to some degree. I mean, some years are more busier than others. Like, yes, it turned out that I have a book and a documentary, and especially the doc was delayed, and then you have Masters of the Universe opening. Just turned out to be the same week as this series is premiering. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
For you, Masters of the Universe, I think for me growing up, I loved the original Masters of the Universe film. What is it like? Do you still get people coming up to you all the time about that role, and now with the new movie coming out?
Yeah, I think so. I think apart from the Rocky IV picture and maybe Expendables, I think the one that people, especially lately, people are really interested in is He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Even before they announced a new picture. So it's kind of slowly gotten more traction, that whole franchise.
What do you think it is? Why do you think that people love He-Man so much?
I think it has to do with the fact that it's a superhero, but it's also a fairy tale. So it has both. It has like a charming kind of component that some of the other, Marvel characters maybe don't have. They're a little more just badass, whereas He-Man is Prince. So he's a good guy. He's Prince Adam and He-Man. So you have that universe that I think people respond to. Very mythological.
No, absolutely. But you know what? Let's talk about things that aren't mythological, the things that really came to be, and that's history's greatest machines. For people who might not know, talk about what this docuseries is really about.
Well, it's about history's greatest machines. It's about human endeavors. It's about humans coming up with these wonderful machines that kind of separated us and brought us from living in caves, hitting each other over the head with clubs to ended up going to the moon and curing disease and unfortunately fighting wars against each other and so forth. So, yeah, I think it's a fascinating subject. I was really excited to be part of it.
One of my favorite quotes comes from President John F. Kennedy, where he was talking about going to the moon. And he said, we choose to go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is hard, right? And it's that human ingenuity, like you said, that is just such a testament to the human experience, the human spirit. But when you talk about some of the specific things that y'all go into in this docuseries, I mean, it covers everything from going to the moon to the printing press, right? What did you find most interesting about the series?
Well, first of all, it was great to be able to do something technological because, I'm a chemical engineer
Right.
by education, and I just haven't worked much as it. I've been running around with an assault rifle or a sword or something, 30 years. Go figure. So now, I can kind of speak a little bit from my education. I think on a personal level, I really like history of war. I mean, my dad was an officer, and I always read about that when I was a kid. I studied it in college as a minor. So I love the war machines. The especially in the first episode, the aerial attackers, like the B-17 and F-35. It's interesting find out how they work, and also, obviously, the World War II is always fascinating. So, I mean, I love those things personally. So that's kind of what I took away, what I was really interested to learn about. But then you have all the spy gadgets too, and that's cool. And of course, cars and huge machines. So there's so much, so there's enough for everybody.
Like going through something like this, I think there's, like you said, with your background and actually being able to kind of put your mind to it or flex a different muscle, if you will, during this series. I always love these things because I find out so much more and I'm like you, I'm a history junkie. My grandfather was in World War II, so I love that period of history. And to see, again, I think we take it for granted, some of the technology we have today, but what they were able to do almost 100 years ago. It's just incredible, the engineering feats that they were able to accomplish.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially with World War II, because you have the pressure of finding, feeling civilization is at stake. So, the development, if you look at the world in 1939 as opposed to 1945, so that's only 6 years. So it would be like between 2020 and now. I mean, it went from, horses and cavalry to nuclear weapons and jet fighters in 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, really, if you look at it, if you think about it, and that's kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah, we weren't riding on horses and using bayonets anymore, right? We found out different
No,
ways to do things.
but we were like at the beginning of the Second World War, that
Right.
have those old British helmets and the bayonets and yeah, horse-drawn artillery.
It's fascinating and it's incredible, and that's history's greatest machines. It's coming to the History Channel on June the 1st. But when you talk about Fights Worth Fighting, the memoir,
Yeah.
talk about kind of putting that together. I mean, was that a more difficult process than maybe you thought it was going to be, having to really put pens to paper and go through the arduous process of writing?
Yeah, it was hard work. I've written scripts, and I think I've written a few from scratch, mostly rewritten stuff as a director. And I wrote a book, a training book, workout book, like about 15 years ago. But obviously, when you're talking about your life, you're trying to go back and you're trying to tell the story from an emotional point of view, but also it has to be correct. And yeah, it's a daunting experience, especially in my life where I've done so many things and lived so many places. And I did have somebody help me with it, which was great. But, finally I had to sit down and I had to go through every line, every word, every date, every person, everything to make sure it was correct. And, also I have each chapter starts with a quote. So I love quotes, like I like to, famous quotes where you have somebody, whether it's Winston Churchill or Marilyn Monroe or somebody who's been through the mill, like I guess I have, speak about life. It's always interesting to put other people's perspective there next to your own,
Yeah, to have that prism to view it through.
Yeah, so it was a tough experience. At the same time, it was quite fulfilling because, I would sit there and read through a certain, say, section about my childhood or something, and it would bring back memories that usually you don't have time to sit and think about because most of us think about the future and we're planning for the future and I don't like to look back too much usually. So, but sitting there, kind of really remembering, how I felt when I was 12 years old or something. It was nice, and it was a little bit made me feel good about myself and what I've accomplished, which I really don't really look at it that way. I don't congratulate myself, but I did feel that I've been through a few hard fights, and got through it.
Well, you have, sir. You absolutely have, and you know what? Your career is fascinating, and I cannot wait to read the memoir. And lastly, again, we have History's Greatest Machines. We have Fights Worth Fighting, and we also have Hard Cut Vodka. This is another thing you got to put your kind of education and background into creating this, American-made vodka.
Yeah, hard cut vodka. It's Idaho potato vodka. Only 1% of all vodkas in America are made from potato because it's a little more difficult, a little more expensive, but it's creamier and tastes better, much better. Yeah, it's a project I was doing with my wife, and it was her idea. And this is started back in 2021 or so, 2020. And yeah, it's a great. It's being an entrepreneur, and I've never done that before, really, except in the film business. But here it is, actually selling a consumer product. And because of a fella named Al Capone back in the 20s, 100 years ago, things got complicated.
A little bit.
The federal government came in and said, hey, if you want to sell liquor, we're going to make it hard for you. We're going to check on everything. So it was just great in one way, but there's a lot of hoops to go through, but it was also a challenge, I think, to form a company, raise money, and I'm actually the CEO of the company as well. So I'm running it on a daily basis. It's a big challenge, actually one of my biggest.
Well, you seem to take on all challenges at all times, and that's what we've loved about your career always. Yeah. So again, congratulations on everything you have going on. Hard Cut Vodka, History's Greatest Machines, Fights Worth Fighting, everything that you have going on. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much. Nice speaking to you, Brad. Thanks.
You too, Dolph. Thank you so much.
Take care.